Hi, thanks for joining me. Hope you're okay. We're in Shrewsbury. Rob's got his driving test and he's just about to go on it. He stopped there because another car was pulling away, that one that's just gone there now. So the thing is they're all lined up. And what you've got to be aware of is that the other cars that are pulling away at the same time as you. So it's one of those, it's easy enough to just, in that spur of the moment, just forget to check around you. But it's most important, have a look and see who's on that car park. So coming out of the gate and the test is underway. Your driving test will last between 38 to 40 minutes. You'll be asked to do one manoeuvre, whether that'll be the front bay park, reverse back 2 car lengths from the other side of the road, or reverse bay or the parallel park. You'll get one of them anyway. The emergency stop, it's only done now 1 in 3. So, sorry, 1 in 7. It used to be 1 in 3, but now it's 1 in 7. They've changed it. So Rob's on his driving test and it's underway. So we've just turned right at the roundabout. Always remembering mirrors first, then your signal, and then of course then your manoeuvre. And that's what the one of the things that the examiner will be paying particular attention to is those before you do anything, it's always those mirrors first of all. Okay, so we're just going to be focused on what it is that you're doing. Pay attention to it. Do what your instructor says. If you're taking your driving test shortly, hope this video does help you. It'll give you some indication of what happens on a driving test anyway. I'm not saying that you'll get this exact route, and anything that happens on here, I'm not saying that will happen to you. It just gives you an idea of what does happen. So we're going straight ahead at this roundabout. Notice how what he's done is he's kept into the left-hand side. That he's followed the profile of the roundabout around, which is the correct thing to do. You don't want to be cutting the roundabout up. Where the problem is with that is that you've got people by the side of you, because you more often than not on roundabouts you've got the 2 lanes, the left-hand lane, the right-hand lane. I mean, like there are ones where you got 3 lanes, 4 lanes, but I'm just talking about a bog standard roundabout now. So you've got to be careful about actually staying in lane, and that's one thing that you do need to pay attention to. Okay, so left-hand door mirror check, and then away we go. We're in a national speed limit now, so you need to make positive progress. I'm not talking about flooring it or anything like that, but simply make progress. The speed limit along here is 60, so you've got to be getting up to speed. Don't get dawdling doing 40 miles an hour, 45 and all that. It's the wrong thing to do, especially on a road like this, because it's nice and wide, it's fairly straight, and it's designed to travel at a higher speed. If you're in a countryside road, down in the back roads around the countryside, and then you're in a national speed limit, that's a different story because you can't do the speed. So that's what you've got to be aware of. So we're coming up to this roundabout, bringing the speed down. You see, notice how we're keeping it into the left-hand side, just keeping it tucked in and being aware of the mirrors as you exit the roundabout. Always being aware of what's happening at the back of you. This particular test was my last driving test of 2025, so this is the very last one. So at least one good thing is it did end up being a pass, which I was particularly pleased about. So keeping well away from the vehicle in front, stay away from them. Always remember, take into account your stopping distances, and even in wet weather, it's even worse. And in icy conditions, well, it could be 10 times more, and that is really, really dangerous. I mean, my only advice is if it's icy, if you can avoid it, just don't go out. I mean, I've been driving years, and I mean, the thing is that no matter how well prepared you are, you cannot take into account what other people are going to do or what's going to be there. So, if you can, don't go out in it. Is my advice if it's really bad. Right, so we're going up the A53. So again, national speed limit, making progress. And that sign that you saw there where it said max speed 30, that's only giving you uh, an advice to slow down. It's advisory. It's not a speed limit. What it's telling you to do is to be careful because you have got quite a sharp bend coming up. So it'll be a, a rectangle sign and it'll be white background with black lettering on it, and it'll just say max speed wherever it is. On that occasion it was 30, but it's not a speed limit, it's just advising you just to bring the speed down a little bit. We're going to be turning off very shortly, going down the back roads. So again, it's got slow written on the road. It's all you need to do in that situation is mirror checks and come off the accelerator just to reduce the speed. Now, we're probably turning right here. So it's always mirrors first and then your signal. Your road position, that's keep tight over to the centre line. Bring that speed down. Door mirror check before you make your right turn. And away we go. One thing you do have to be careful of is, of course, the farm implements are on the road. You do have to be careful of that. You've also got some nice sized potholes, and where sometimes as well where the road is actually decayed away and they've got like deep trenches there. Make a nice job of wrecking your car if you go into it, especially at high speed. So we're making good progress down here, though it's a national speed limit. It's not possible to do it, so you'd only want to be looking at 40, 45, and sometimes you've got to bring it down even more than that. For example, like now we're coming up to a bend, so you've got to reduce the speed. There's the house there. You've got to just anticipate anyone that's there, anyone coming out of the driveway. As soon as you've passed the house, then you can pick your speed back up again. When you're driving along like this now, this is where you could be asked to do something like, say, for example, could you show me how you would demist the rear window? Could you show me how you would wind down your window? Could you show me how you would sound your horn? Or something like that it'll be. And those are the questions you need to look up and know where all the controls are before you set off. So that you need to be aware of them. So that you're not fumbling along when you're on your test when you're driving test, trying to look for the controls. So familiarise yourself with the controls of the car. Yeah, he's got his speed up there quite well. We're not dawdling by any stretch of the imagination. We're not, and we're not speeding either. You see, those are some of the hazards there. Those cars there, the driveways, the farm entrances. Those are the things you've just got to be particularly careful of. Try to anticipate what you may find around the next corner. It's like here now. It's what's around this next corner. We don't know. The only time you'll know is when you're around it. You see, nicely up to the end of the road there. This is where you need to use probably the control on the clutch just to push the car as far forward as you possibly can so it gives you the best possible visibility. That's what you've got to be able to do with that. Just make sure that you can see clearly both ways before you emerge. This is the benefit of getting control over the clutch, making the car being able to move the car forwards very slowly forwards. And then we're going to make our way back to Shrewsbury again now. Again, just coming off the accelerator pedal. So you're reducing your speed as you come up to these bends. Nice long straight there. And again, looking as far ahead as you possibly can. As you can probably see on the driving test, it's not a lot of it, as you can see. I mean, we're nearly halfway through the driving test. And as you can see, what have we been doing? Just driving on these faster roads, that's all we've been doing. And then in the countryside a little bit, but that's about it. So the speed limit's altered again. You've got a roundabout ahead of you. And the problem is with this, it comes up quite quickly because it's just after the bend. You see, there's a roundabout just round this next bend here. There, just as you come round this bend, there it is, right in front of you. And I think this one it springs up on you quite quickly. I think that. So you're back into the national speed limit again. Again, taking your time up to around about, looking for your opportunity in which to go. As soon as you've got an opportunity to go, then by all means go. Get the car ready. Consider putting your handbrake on if you're waiting for any length of time. So if you're pausing for a moment, it doesn't matter. But if you're waiting for any length of time, then you need to apply your handbrake. So if a pause has turned into a wait, as it were, then you need to be able to apply your handbrake. And away we go again. So speed limit's going to alter again, so back down to 30. And another mini roundabout coming ahead. So going straight ahead at it. I keep your eye open to the right. Again, bring the speed down, reading the situation. If it's clear, then just continue on your way, like Rob's done. He's not stopped. It's clear, so therefore we go. It's that simple. But the trick is to bring the speed down. The slower you go into it, the better it will become. See the bus in front? Pay attention to the signals. Okay, so he's stopping. Now, what you need to do now is keep well back, like Rob's doing, and keep position to the centre. That will give you the best possible view past it. Look out for the bus driver's signals, because he may indicate right and then pull away again. So if you could see in front that it was clear and the bus is still stationary, then you can simply pass it. But if, say, for example, that there's only one passenger getting on the bus driver will only be there for a moment and they'll move off again. Again, don't get too close to the bus because he will make another stop at some point. Something will happen. We've got another roundabout ahead of you. And we're going to be turning right before the roundabout. If you let us go, that's fine, that's okay. Okay, so there's the vehicles parked on the left-hand side though. So again, notice what Rob's done there. He's slowed the car right down. He's looked before he's committed himself. He hasn't just gone, oh, it's parked there, I'll overtake it. What he's done there is that it's that good old saying, look before you leap. So before he's committed himself to go in, he has slowed it right down, made sure that it's clear, and then he can move off again. During your driving test, you will be asked to stop 3 times during your driving test. So what will happen is that the examiner will just ask you to pull up and stop in a safe, convenient place. And then as soon as you've stopped, they'll just say, thank you, move off whenever you're ready. That will happen about 3 times. It used to happen 4, but now it's 3. That's to give the driver more time actually on the road driving. And this is why the emergency stop is only done now 1 in 7 and not 1 in 3. When you have stopped as well, always remember cancel that left-hand indicator. So I'm going to pull up and stop again. That's it. Avoid parking on someone's driveway. That's it. Handbrake on and take it out of gear. Cancel the indicator. And then move off whenever you're ready. So remember, checking that right-hand blind spot check before you move away. It's most important. If you're practicing with your parents and you're driving in your own car, you'll be probably tempted just to check your right-hand door mirror, then drive on. To all intents and purposes, that's how most people tend to do it, but it's the wrong way. You must make sure you're checking over your right shoulder into your blind spot. The only time that you'll really understand how important it really is when something happens, and it's there for a good reason. So you need to just have a word with your instructor just to clarify that. Oh, for some reason there, the video's jumped. Right, yeah, this happens sometimes. And what's happening now is that he's been asked to pull up and stop on the right-hand side of the road, and then this will be reversed back 2 car lengths, keeping reasonably close to the curb. So if you're ever asked to pull up and stop on the right-hand side of the road, it's that manoeuvre that you've got coming up. That's where you're asked to pull up, stop on the right, and then your examiner will ask you to reverse back for about 2 car lengths, keeping reasonably close to the curb. Now, what you're going to be looking for is you need to be paying attention, looking literally, I mean literally through the back window. That's turn your head and look straight through that back window, and then paying attention to your mirrors, your right-hand door mirror, your left-hand door mirror, and then having a glance forwards every now and then. So you've got to be aware of who's about. Now, if anything's coming, you need to stop. That is most important, because you must just pull up and stop. And then as soon as they've gone past you, then continue on your way again. Ah, yeah, we're just by Morrison's now, so we're turning left here. This bit of, it's a bit busy just here, it gets a bit busy. Okay, so we're positioned now in the right-hand lane, that's towards the town centre. So take your time on this roundabout here. If you've got the opportunity to go, by all means go. If you've got to stop, stop. Now, the one thing you need to be careful of is just coming up now, and I'll point it out. First exit, there's the second. Now indicate left. Now, check that left-hand door mirror. You see the box junction just there? The traffic could have been built up to there, so you can't enter the box. You can't enter the box unless it's clear. You'll usually find this will happen, say during school hours, where they're there. So that's what you've got to be aware of. Be careful of that one. It's caught a few people out, I can assure you. So we're going to be turning right here. This is the protected turn right. So we're in the lane now for turning right. Okay, so it's time for us to move up. Pay attention to what's happening around you. Now check your mirrors and be aware of things that can happen. Okay, so there's a stationary vehicle. First thing is always remember the mirrors before you overtake it. And before you pass, always check your mirrors. And what you're looking for is anyone overtaking you. So we're going to pull up stop on the left hand side again. That's it, pull up stop. That's it, handbrake on out of gear, indicator off, and then you move off whenever you're ready. It's a slight incline, this one, like your hill start. It's not like a hill road. Well, it is a hill, but it's not like a really steep one. So again, making sure you're clear, blind spot check, and away you go, making positive progress. And this is where you've got these chicanes whereby you've got to give way to the traffic coming from the other direction. Again, it's mirrors before you start to move out again. You know, I mean, these e-scooters. I mean, I've been overtaken before now by an e-scooter. You've just slowed down and then they've just literally gone round you. It's amazing how it happens. And then we've got the other part of the chicane here whereby now they have the oncoming traffic has to give way to you. It's just adjusting the speed. What he's done there is adjusting the speed. He's looked right the way down the bottom of the road. You can see the car coming clearly. So what Rob's done there is off the accelerator, brake in good time, kept away from the car in front, that and allowed the other car just to come through, which means then he can release the foot brake and off he goes without stopping. If he'd have ignored it, then of course then what would have happened is that you're virtually standing on the brakes trying to stop in good time or just risking it and hoping that you can get through. But it's things like that that make up good driving where you're looking ahead and working things out rather than just simply aiming at it and hoping that everybody gets out of the way of you. So again, coming up to the end of the road. Okay, so mirror checks, your signal, slowing the car right down, looking both ways, checking both ways, and then out you go, keeping the car on your side. On this bit here, well, I think we're turning right here. On this bit, the road markings have faded. They're not very good on that one there. So you do have to be careful where you're not going in too soon because you'll get asked to turn right. And if you go in too soon, you'll be on the other side for the oncoming traffic that turning right into the pub. Okay, another roundabout coming up. So I'll be going left at it. So mirrors, your signal, bring the speed down, gear change all in good time, and away you go. Mirror checks again, and off you go. One more roundabout to do, and that's it. We're home. And that's the end of the driving test. So I hope that you found it useful. And you can see with Rob's driving test there, it wasn't exactly what I call stressful at all. I mean, when you're on test conditions, I mean, you will be a little bit on the stress side, but you can see that is there anything to worry about there? And the answer is no. And that's more or less what a driving test is very much like. So it's just turn left, then turn right into the driving test centre. The examiner now will just ask you to park the car up. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all the very best for your driving test if you've got one coming up in the near future. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope this helps you. Bye for now.